Does college make sense in the age of AI? That's a very good question. What I'd like to do is look at the pros and cons of it. Welcome, colleagues. George Sloan from Myford University. A lot of you may be wondering, hey, in the age of AI and what's coming, does college make sense? I would say that it depends. Um, let's go on the pro side or the yes side. If you're going into STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, probably. Probably a very good idea to go and get that intensive lab work done. Okay. If you're going into law, education, or medicine, that's, medicine does fall into STEM to some extent, but those areas you are required to have undergraduate and even advanced uh, graduate work done. So you probably have to do that. Um, that's kind of where I'm at with the cons. I'm sorry, the pros. And now let's address the cons. My idea, and a lot of what this channel is based on, is that no, you probably don't need college. I don't think you've needed college for years now. Personally, I think that what we've arrived at with AI is only going to open Pandora's box to get to the point where everyone realizes the absurdity of college in most cases. So let's talk about the cons. One of the things you want to think about is self-education. Self-education is something that should be, going from the time you're born, when you're putting everything in your mouth and touching everything, because that's how you learn when you're a baby. But self-education should continue throughout your life. So college, I don't know that that necessarily fits in the situation now, because again, we're in a dynamic world, not a static world like we used to be. Things move too quickly, so you're constantly self-educating. The other thing is, and this is tied to the first one here, is the need for upgrades. You're constantly going to need to upgrade your skills and abilities and your perspectives. Why? Because again, we're in a dynamic world, a rapidly changing world, where you can't just learn and then milk it for decades. Sorry, it just doesn't work that way. Next, everyone is talking about the idea of skills, skills, skills. I'm even seeing ads for colleges now saying, "Oh, we give you the skills you need to succeed." Um, do they really? Or have they just figured that out? Uh, Honestly, you probably, don't buy it. They're just coming around to the idea that, they've got to say certain things. It's like a politician; they'll tell you whatever you want to hear to get your vote, and then afterwards, who cares? Um, the need for skills is more important than ever, and a lot of major employers that a lot of people want to work for, they don't even require degrees anymore, because they only care about, can you do it? Can you deliver results? Can you solve problems? Can you manage and work with people? Can you work in a team? Can you build a team? That's what it really comes down to these days. So you really, at this point, it depends on what you're going into as to whether college makes sense. And to close this idea out, in the age of AI, you can do certain things to get yourself those upgrades that we talked about. I, on the channel, have talked about just-in-time learning, my system of doing it. Um, there's a number of approaches that you can take. So when it comes to answering the question, does college make sense in the age of AI? I do say it depends, but in most cases, let's use Pareto principle here, 80-20 rule. 80% of you probably don't need college anymore. You can get your education in other ways, and only about 20% of you will be required to go for college. So I would rethink doing college, or even a master's degree, or even a PhD, because in this day and age, things have changed. Not that education isn't important; it's the fact that the way you get education has evolved dramatically. It's changed significantly, and in the age of AI, it's only going to change even more. So, if you're interested in this kind of content, subscribe to the channel and consider giving us a like and a share. I always like to say to people, don't keep us a secret. If you want to learn it fast and apply it faster, you're in the right place. We'll see you the next time. Thank you.